Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo. You guys have been sending Venmo donations, and the Patreon family, we working. Now, I had to talk about this for the boxing fans. And some people hit me up, Instagram, DM me, and they wanted my take on this. I'm gonna give you guys the backstory. I will link to it so you guys know how to get to it. So Anthony Joshua did an interview with Sky Sports. It was Johnny Nelson, former fighter, and now like commentator, and some chick. I don't know who the girl is. Don't Cam Newton me. I just don't know who the girl is. And there's a YouTube video so you can see the actual interview. It's called Joshua to Face Wilder at Wembley ? AJ answers your questions. So they're basically doing a Q&A session, answering tweets and questions submitted from you, the fans. And I gotta say, this was very interesting. Namely, what you see in the title when they talked about Wilder. Now, if you want, the link is in the description. Again, you can watch the full interview in its entirety. Fast forward to about the 4-minute mark if you want to hear what he's saying about Wilder. And like I said before, y'all got to get off Deontay Wilder's back. It's just what it is. I mean, AJ said some things that were borderline shocking, right, in this particular interview. And I like AJ. I like him a lot. But what he was saying in this interview was, they asked him, what about Wilder at Wembley? He says, the fighter on my shoulder, I got one devil who's saying, yeah, take the fight. He said, but then the manager side, the other devil on my other shoulder is telling me maybe you should think it out and map it out and basically do what's right for your career. He also went on to say, fighting Wilder, maybe it happens next year, maybe the year after that, maybe the year after that. You know what I mean? So if you do the math, it's 2017. He says maybe it doesn't happen in 2018. Maybe it happens in 2019, 2020. But this is my career we're talking about. He also said Wilder turned pro in 2008 or something like that. And he says, I started boxing in 2009. So we got to do what's right for my career, yada, yada, yada. And again, you guys can listen to it. I'm just paraphrasing here. And the bottom line is, it doesn't sound like he's trying to fight Wilder necessarily ASAP. Maybe if the fans demand it and the pressure is there to fight him, maybe then it has to happen. But it sounds like he wants to guide his career and take the fight at what he feels is the adequate time. Similar to Canelo versus Golovkin, something like that. Like basically use the A side. He keeps saying like, oh, the fighter in me is willing to take it whenever. So pretty shocking from Joshua. He also said maybe it happens the year after that or the year after that, which would put it 2019, 2020. And he says, and then if it happens then, I know that I could beat him. He said something like that. So Wilder being older and having a longer pro career, it's like, are you waiting for him to show more signs of vulnerability and then fight him? You know what I mean? It's just, it was actually, I didn't expect that, because you don't really expect these things from fighters. Like I said, I like AJ a lot. I think the fight, even right now, if they were to happen, obviously it can't happen before Pulev and before Stavern too, but it's a great fight now. You know what I mean? And it was just, it was a little bit off-putting to hear AJ say these things he was just talking about. So like I said, there's nothing. This is what I've been telling people. Wilder has adamantly and vehemently called out guys like AJ multiple times. Joseph Parker multiple times. Then other top names like Tyson Fury, he has his own bag of tricks and his own reasons why that fight can't happen, because he's not even at an adequate fighting weight. You know what I mean? Testing positive for cocaine. He ain't fought since 2015. But then other guys like Luis King Kong Ortiz, he's the boogeyman of the division, and he's failed a second drug test, tested positive with something. You can say, oh, it's the heart rate medicine, but whatever, you didn't declare it, you didn't go through the proper procedural things, now your fight got canceled when you were supposed to fight Wilder November 4th, right? You look at Alexander Povetkin, that was a telling fight, a ranked guy, tough Russian power puncher who's a gold medalist, his fight gets canceled. Right? You look at that Andre, the Polish fighter, Andre Wawowski or whatever his name was, he failed a drug test. That's 3 fighters that failed a drug test in the 16-month span that their scheduled Wilder fights got canceled, right? Then you have people like Glaskov who clearly openly ducked Wilder. And then you have other top names like AJ and Joseph Parker who look like they're not really trying to get in there with Wilder straight away. And it's funny because a lot of fans are saying AJ would pummel Deontay Wilder. He's windmill Wilder, bum squad. But it sounds like the fans have more confidence in the fight happening ASAP than maybe the team, maybe Team AJ. They want to wait and develop him. He even said something in this particular interview. You guys can go listen to it, right? I'm just simply paraphrasing what I heard. And you guys can correct me if I said something that wasn't accurate. But he even said something in this interview where he says, what if I took the fight, or maybe I take the fight next year and figure out that wasn't the right time. I still had to work on things. So basically I'm going to do it on my time. So kind of using the A side in this, you know what I mean? I'm the A side. It's going to happen when I say it happens. I'm not going to let the fans, I'm not going to let the media, I'm not going to let the people rush me into the fight. Right? And just a little bit weird to hear fighters say certain things. I remember on the Chocolatito Gonzalez Sisket Sorungvasai rematch, Chocolatito made a comment at the fighter meeting, and Andre Ward talked about it on the telecast. Chocolatito said, I don't know, me moving up, maybe my power is not suitable for this division. And Andre Ward was like, man, as a fighter, he said that, I would never say that. And that's kind of what it put me in that same mind frame. It's weird to hear Joshua even say these things. Even if you felt it or behind closed doors, you don't usually hear someone like openly say it. So, I mean, you get credit for being honest and saying, hey, it's going to happen on your terms when you feel it's ready. But at the end of the day, like I said, if that's what he chooses to do with his career, so be it. But people got to stop with the bum squad and Deontay Wilder ain't trying to fight nobody, because clearly he's trying to make the fights, and maybe he's ready now. And Joshua's saying, hey, I want some more time to develop. I mean, he's telling you that. He's telling you that, hey, we'll see what happens. But you know what I mean? So to me, it's gonna be dependent on the fans and media really pushing for the fight if you want it sooner, because it sounds like he's definitely open to building his star power and developing as a fighter, and then fighting Wilder at his own pace. So you guys listen to the interview and interpret it how you want. But the other thing that gets me too is this always happens in boxing, where you have a person say something, whether it's the trainer, the promoter, or the fighter, and then the actions don't really match what's being said. Like Eddie Hearn, promoter of Anthony Joshua, he just did an interview, and you guys could Google this, fact check this. Don't just take Ego's word for it. But Eddie Hearn did an interview, and he was like, yeah, I think AJ will stop him. I think he stops him in 3. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, I think Joshua will stop Wilder in 3 rounds. So let's see it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not on unison. Talking about the fight may not happen in 2018. It may happen in 2019. It may happen in 2020. Just depending on what we feel like. That's the same thing Canelo was doing with Golovkin. I'm not ready to move up. I'll move up when I damn sure want to move up. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I understand A side and having leverage, but if Wilder was content coming out to Wembley, that's your backyard in the UK, why stall the fight out? Why not make it happen ASAP? And like I said, you always see the trainers and the fighters and promoters and stuff making bold statements. People want to see it. You know what I mean? If Eddie Hearn says Joshua knocks him out now and he knocks him out in 3 rounds, then let's see it. Why do we have to wait to possibly 2020? That's a long time. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about doing another Fast and Furious movie coming out in 2020. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why Why do we have to wait? Joshua's a champion. Wilder's a champion. Why wait? You know what I mean? The money's here now. People would pay. If Joshua gets past Pulev and Wilder gets past Bermane-Stiverne, his mandatory, they're both taking care of their mandatories. Why? I mean, why would we not see it in 2018? You know what I'm saying? Especially if the promoter saying he thinks his fighter will knock him out. It seems like there's some skepticism in what Joshua's plans are, because he's saying, hey, we might wait, we might take it easy, and we're not going to let anyone rush us. We're going to go at our own pace and do what's right for us. So I don't know. I don't really see any other way to bend and twist what he's saying. Some people in the comment section are like, oh, he's just saying that. Like, you guys always get on the Instagram and YouTube and interpret it in weird ways and speak for the fighter. He's telling you how he feels about that. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you right now. And I don't get this whole Russian career stuff. Like, I understand people keep blaming it on Floyd Mayweather because Floyd was able to pick certain fights, but he still took tough fights. He's the smaller guy, right? Fighting big ass Canelo, Maidana, fought Pacquiao, fought Cotto at 54. You know what I'm saying? So this whole A-side stuff, we have to stop. You know what I mean? You should want to unify, especially if a guy's screaming at you. You know what I mean? And I remember Joshua saying, I'll do what the fans want. And I know the fans want, because I have a popular platforms, multiple platforms, YouTube, we're on Instagram, etc. You know what I mean? And people want to see it. So hopefully he reconsiders, or hopefully the fight can happen despite this particular interview. It's just, like I said, it was a bit weird hearing Joshua say, like, I won't be rushed, because at the end of the day, the training wheels are off. You just fought Klitschko. Klitschko's the man. 60 something fights, 50 fight, whatever Klitschko has, 40 years old, a lot of experience, Olympian, gold medalist. You just fought and knocked out Klitschko. So it's like people, and see, this is the other thing. This is not really for AJ. This is really for the fans. Let the fans tell it. Wilder's sloppy. He's windmill Wilder. He's afraid to fight real competition. He's a cherry picker. He's bum squad. He has no technique. He has little legs, all this stuff, right? So if that's the case and you just fought and beat Klitschko, you never said anything about, oh, I'm not going to be rushed to sell 90,000 tickets and fight Klitschko. So why are you talking about being rushed when it comes to Wilder? Especially, see, and this is what I'm saying with fans and fighters and stuff. Everybody keeps telling us what Deontay Wilder lacks. Oh, he's not that technical, or he's sloppy, or he's wild. Then you should just beat his wild ass and take that WBC strap and collect a scalp. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. It's just like, it's not adding up to me. You know what I mean? And any fan, if you're a fan of AJ, if you're a fan of Wilder, if you're a fan of both, who wouldn't want this fight? I'm a fan of both, and I want to see the fight. They're both champions. Why not unify? You know what I'm saying? So just weird, basically a weird interview or response to questions for a champion. You know what I mean? And like I said, you fought Klitschko. So to me, like, the training wheels are off. You know what I mean? So to me, that shows it gives Wilder probably more confidence. The way I took it, you guys can listen to it and interpret it how you want. But for Joshua to say these things, it actually gives Wilder confidence, because he feels that he's been calling out people to no avail, and you're talking about, hey, we'll fight him when we feel we could beat him. You know what I mean? We'll fight him at our pace. No one's gonna rush us. So I don't know. And I know one thing I do know about boxing is you will be rushed, because at the end of the day, the fans are the consumers. You know what I'm saying? Just like Canelo. If Canelo didn't fight Triple G, that's a similar situation. If Canelo didn't fight Triple G, because at first he was like vacated his belt, says, oh, I'll move up to middleweight when I want to move up, when my body's ready. He got a lot of flack. 2016, he received a lot of flack. So you actually will be rushed, whether you realize or not, because customers are the ones that pay for your fights and merchandise and live gates and things like that. So the fans will get tired. Like, if you just fight Pulev and then fight, you know what I mean, Manuel Char or something like that, people aren't going to want to see those fights. over and over. So the fans will rush you. Like, man, when you gonna fight Wilder? When? And they'll put that pressure. Like, in my honest opinion, this is my honest to God opinion, I think my channel and others and other fans are the reason Lomachenko is fighting Rigondeaux. The reason Top Rank made that fight, right? I don't think, had the pressure not grown for it, I don't think the fight would have happened. Just like Golden Boy finally making the Canelo and Triple G this year. I think that was based on they were receiving so much bad feedback for Canelo in 2016. You're almost cornered. So I disagree with Joshua here. I think the fans and the media will kind of determine the fights that need to be made, and they'll put a lot of pressure on you. And again, once you're a champion, it's like the training wheels are off. You should want to unify. Because Joshua, I'm sure he will fight Joseph Parker next year. You know what I mean? Some people consider him the easiest champion to beat, Joseph Parker. So it just doesn't make sense to say, oh, Wilder will fight at our own pace. We don't want no one to rush us, but you're willing to fight Joseph Parker. Let me know your thoughts. Link in the description. Just kind of a weird interview. And I hope Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua if they get past their next opponent, hopefully they go to the drawing board. And if they can make the fight with Wilder in 2018, don't stall it out. Because I've seen this story happen tons of times in boxing, where great fights could have happened, never materialized, and then it's like not even worth it. Like Gamboa and Mikey Garcia. That was a huge fight at the time. Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. I don't even care if they fight now, but I was a huge advocate for that fan. So don't let Joshua Wilder become one of those fights where either one of them looks vulnerable in a fight or loses to the point where the fight has lost its luster. Make the fight now. I'm always an advocate of strike while the iron's hot. And all the money, Joshua says he wants to be a billionaire. Wilder is your quickest ticket to hopefully realizing that dream. Because if you beat Wilder, you become a champion, or actually unify with the champion, and you'll get a whole hell of a lot of credit for beating Wilder, right? So that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.